What are the correct steps that we should take whenever we hear something? We know that Islam, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, addresses every single affair in our life and gives us principles to abide by in order to interact with these affairs. Even when it comes to rumors, when we hear information, we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions five principles in the Quran that we should stick to whenever we come across new information, whenever we hear something about someone or people or a nation or an event. The first is to confirm that the news is actually true and not just hearsay. We must confirm that what is being spread, what is being said is actually true and is not just rumors. Now, and this is derived from the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala where he says in Surah Al-Hujurat, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He addresses the people of Iman, meaning that this action is from the actions of the people of Iman. Therefore, those who leave off this action, then that is not from Iman. SubhanAllah, that it decreases the person's Iman. That this is from the actions of the kuffar in reality. Those who just hear information and spread it. This is from the actions of the kuffar, disbelievers. As for the believers, la, we are just. The believers are just. Now, whenever there comes to you a fasiq, a wrongdoer, an evildoer, and some scholars say that what's derived from this also is the unknown person, the person that you do not know that they're trustworthy. Okay, someone who's unknown. Whenever this type of individual comes to you, whether they be an evildoer or unknown, you don't know their state, masturul hal. When they come with you, binaba'in, with information, fatabayyanu, then verify it. Fatabayyanu, seek to see what is the source. And in Qira'ah he says, fatathabbatu, yani verify it, that is something true. For if you don't, yani for what purpose? And tusibu qawman bijahalatin, because if you don't, you may harm a people, you may harm a nation, you may harm a person out of ignorance, okay, unknowingly, because you're spreading unverified information. فَتُصْبِحُوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلْتُمْ نَادِمِينَ. فَتُصْبِحُوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلْتُمْ نَادِمِينَ. And thus, as a result, you become regretful for what you have done. So this is the first principle. Whenever you hear information, don't just press share. Don't just share it among everybody. Rather, confirm that it's something actually true. Secondly, when it comes to the Muslims, if it's information about the Muslims, then the origin as it relates to Muslims is that they are righteous, they are God-fearing, they are Muslimun, those who submit their will to Allah. Therefore, you must have good thoughts about them. That's the origin with any Muslim, that you have good thoughts. If you know they say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah and they pray, then you have good thoughts of them. Now, and you give them the benefit of doubt, unless there's proof to show otherwise. This is derived from the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He said, لَوْلَا إِذْ سَمِعْتُمُوهُ ظَنَّ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بِأَنفُسِهِمْ خَيْرًا وَقَالُوا هَذَا إِفْكٌ مُبِينٌ. In relation to the story of the ifk, where the hypocrites accused our mother, the mother of the believers, Aisha radiallahu anha, of committing zina, wa'iyadhu billah. Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed that if only the believing men and women had thought well of one another. ظَنَّ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بِأَنفُسِهِمْ خَيْرًا. If only they had thought well of one another, had good thoughts of one another, when they heard this rumor, the rumor of the ifk, and they had said, وَقَالُوا هَذَا إِفْكٌ مُبِينٌ, that this is an outrageous slander. Subhanallah bihamdi. Not only do they have good thoughts of the believer, of Aisha radiallahu anha, but they defended her. And this is the second principle, is that you have good thoughts of a Muslim whenever rumors are being spread about them, and you actually defend them, because the origin is that they are righteous. They are those who submit their will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب? And you don't just run with the information. You don't just run with the information. Now, and look, that's shadid, yani today we live in a time where having good thoughts of people and defending them is based off of friendship. Meaning that if somebody hates another person or is jealous of them, of what Allah has given them, and wants to bring them down, whenever any type of rumor is spread about that individual, we find that they hold the worst possible meaning. And they accuse that individual and they spread that information about them unjustly. Wallahu musta'an. And sadly, you find that this occurs even among the people of knowledge, or those who ascribe to knowledge and claim to be from the people of knowledge. Wallahu musta'an. More specifically, the beginners in this field. Allahu musta'an. You find that shaitan has deceived them and has used them as tools against one another. May Allah rectify all of our situations, and protect us against all evil. The third principle, ikhwani akhwat, whenever you hear information, is to request clear evidence for the accusation. It has to be something definitive and not just hearsay. Now, not just something someone has said, oh, the Sheikh so-and-so said. No, I don't need that statement. I need proof. Where's the audio? Where's the footage? Where's the kadha wa kadha? Where are the witnesses? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَوْلَا جَاءُوا عَلَيْهِ بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاءَ فَإِذْ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِالشُّهَدَاءِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْكَاذِبُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَوْلَا جَاءُوا عَلَيْهِ بِأَرْبَعَةِ شُهَدَاءَ. Why did it not produce 4 witnesses? Look, Allah mentions witnesses. And this is, of course, in relation to fornication, adultery, may Allah protect us all, zina. But in order to accuse someone of adultery, of any sin, you have to have proof. In this instance, there's 4 shuhada. 4 witnesses must be provided. Something definitive, substantial evidence before you accuse someone. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِذْ لَمْ يَأْتُوا بِالشُّهَدَاءِ. And if they don't come with these witnesses, with this definitive evidence, فَأُولَٰئِكَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْكَاذِبُونَ. Then they are the liars with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are considered to be liars. Subhanallah bihamdi. Meaning that whoever spreads rumors, if they don't come with evidence, then they're considered to be a liar. Subhanallah bihamdi. Now, also the 4th principle as it relates to this issue is to not spread the rumor. Rather, keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep it to yourself and return the affair to those who are in charge. Okay? This is the 4th and 5th principle. The 4th principle is that you do not spread the rumors about the believers to the public. طيب. Rather, you keep it to yourself. And 5thly, you return the matter to those who are in charge, who can actually change and address the situation, to judge whether it is truly a wrong deed or not, and then offer the appropriate judgments. Now, it is for those who are in charge. Of course, in Muslim land, it goes back to the courts and the police and the rulers, etc., people of knowledge. Now, so do not spread that information among others. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says disparagingly, إِذْ تَلَقَّوْنَهُ بِأَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَتَقُولُونَ بِأَفْوَاهِكُمْ مَا لَيْسَ لَكُمْ بِهِ عِلْمٌ وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ. Allah said, and when you passed it from one tongue to the other, when you passed this information, you didn't verify it, rather you spread it among the people. You didn't keep it to yourselves when you heard it. Rather, you spread it among the people, and you said with your mouths that which you have no knowledge of, deeming it to be something light, something easy, hayyinan, and taking it lightly. While in reality, this affair of spreading rumors about people is extremely serious in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَوْلَا إِذْ سَمِعْتُمُوهُ قُلْتُمْ مَا يَكُونُ لَنَا أَن نَتَكَلَّمَ بِهَذَا. If you only had said when you heard this information, how can we speak about such a thing? How can we spread this news, this rumor about others? If you had said this and said, Subhanaka, هَذَا بُهْتَانٌ عَظِيمٌ. Glory be to you, O Allah. This is a heinous slander. This is a tremendous lie. This would have been better. This would have been better. Showing that whenever you hear rumors about the believers, you don't spread it online. You don't share it with the people. Rather, and this goes on to the fifth principle, what do? You return the affair back to those who are in charge. And this is derived from the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah An-Nisa, وَإِذَا جَاءَهُمْ أَمْرٌ مِّنَ الْأَمْنِ أَوِ الْخَوْفِ أَذَاعُوا بِهِ. When they hear news of security or fear, they share it, they publicize it, they spread it among the people. وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ وَإِلَى أُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, had they instead referred it back to the messenger or their authorities, those who are in charge of it, those who have sound judgments among them, then they would have dealt with the matter. They would have derived the correct ruling and deal with it properly. طيب? Naam. So these are, subhanAllah, 5 principles, ikhwan akhwat, in how we should interact with information. طيب? The first is what? Confirm that the news is actually true and not hearsay. Secondly, you have good thoughts about the accused. Thirdly, you must request clear evidence. You act upon clear evidence. Fourthly, you do not spread that rumor to others. Rather, fifthly, you spread it, you inform those in charge, those who have the ability to really look into the matter with wisdom and knowledge and come to the correct ruling, and let them deal with it and them mention the proper punishment or way of going forward for that individual. Now,